I'm Jeff Cornwall, and this is the Entrepreneurial Mind. Today my guest is Jonathan Murrell from Escape Game. We'll be back to talk to Jonathan after this.
Talkapolis programming is sponsored in part by the Center for Advanced Dentistry, now serving the greater Nashville area.
Welcome, Jonathan.
Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you're here. I first got to know you when you were a student over at Belmont, and your brother was a student over at Lipscomb, and you guys were doing some online candy businesses. And I know that business grew, and you did some paths with that, but now you're doing something new, you and your brother James, called Escape Game. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we've been in the business about 6 months now.
Okay.
The Escape Game is it's sort of a live adventure tourist attraction. It's tourist attraction / team building. So we have everyone from families to corporate groups coming through. What it is in basic form is we take you into a room that's been specially designed, lock the door on you and your team, and you've got 60 minutes to try to get back out. So everything inside that room is important, helps you get out of the room. There's puzzles, safes, clues to solve, hidden doors, secret tunnels, all kinds of stuff built into those rooms that you've got to use your mind and work together as a team to escape from.
And you have 60 minutes.
60 minutes.
And what happens after 60 minutes?
If you don't get out in 60 minutes, we just come, knock on the door, open it, and say, sorry.
Say you guys suck. You just didn't get it done.
Not quite. Just sorry, come back again. But we kind of usually show teams what they didn't finish. Right. So the mystery's kind of resolved for them. They have a little bit of closure. But
and what percentage finish?
We have several different games. They all have different win rates, but our average across the game is about 35%.
Wow, so about 1 in 3 figure it out.
These are teams of 7 executives or 7 smart business people failing that often. Wow.
All right, so where in the world did you get the idea for this?
The idea is it's a popular genre of entertainment in Europe and Asia. It really hasn't taken off in the US yet. And so a friend of ours, who's actually our third partner in the business, was traveling in Europe, played a similar concept in London, really enjoyed it. He came back. And last fall, we got together, talked, decided that we loved the idea, and as a team, the 3 of us wanted to try to pursue it in Nashville.
And so your market research is going to Budapest, right?
Yeah, we ended up going to Budapest because that's sort of become a hub for the game. It's one of the most concentrated areas. They have 30+ games in that city. 30 games. And so we went to Budapest, spent a week playing everything we could book for that week, playing 5 to 10 games a day. Then we spent some time in Singapore, which is sort of the hub within Asia. And so we went to Singapore, played as many games as we could play in Singapore, and my partner's also played in Mumbai, India, and in London. So we've kind of played games all around the world.
But there's not much going on in the U.S. so far?
In the U.S., there's, at this point, maybe 3 companies that are operating in the U.S.
All right. So what's the allure? Because as I understand it, it's kind of hard to book your event already.
Yeah, we're fully booked 3 to 5 days out. Weekends are booked about 3 weeks out. So if you're trying to book a weekend spot, you better start looking a little bit in advance. So people love it just because it's a time to kind of get together with real people in a real room, and you're not doing something virtual. It's all real life stuff. It's real doors you're unlocking, real safes. And I think also it's the challenge because people know that it's really difficult. So when you do win, you love it. Teams come out of our rooms all day long screaming, "Whoa, we made it out." And so that's kind of the word of mouth from that. When a team comes out, busts through the door screaming, and they take their picture and they brag to everyone they meet about escaping from a room that has a 20% win rate, you just feel good about it. So,
and so what's the typical customer for this?
That was a question we tried to answer started coming into it, and just kind of said we don't know. And we still don't really know because we have a pretty even mix of families on vacation and local corporate groups.
So people come to Nashville, they go to the Country Music Hall of Fame, and they do Escape Game.
Yeah, and right now we're actually the #1 rated thing to do on TripAdvisor for Nashville. So
and you've been open how long?
3 months. Yeah.
How in the world did you get that?
People just absolutely love it, and so they go online, review us. We've got over 230 5-star reviews right now out of 240 reviews. And so almost everyone who reviews us gives us a 5-star, absolutely loves it. And so we're ranked #1. So when you come to Nashville, you search things to do.
So somebody looks at TripAdvisor, what to do in Nashville. It's not the Country Music Hall of Fame.
It's the Escape Game.
It's not going out to visit the big hotels or anything like that. It's not even Broadway. It's the Escape Game.
Right now it is, yeah.
Goodness gracious. So now have you done a lot of search engine work to help build that too? Or?
We've been working on that, but TripAdvisor honestly it's what ranks the best anyway. And so since we're ranking high in TripAdvisor, people are finding us indirectly through TripAdvisor. So it's proving to be a great source, especially early on, and then the word of mouth from the locals in town has been huge. So it took a little longer to get the locals used to the game, and so at first our market was mainly tourists because they came in, went online. Locals don't really search things to do in Nashville.
Right.
But at this point, more than half our business is locals who've just heard about it from their friends and they're coming in the door.
And one of my alums said they basically did a job interview using the Escape Game. How in the world did that work?
Well, he called me. He's like, hey, I've got a new engineer coming in. We want to get to know him in a unique environment. And he'd been wanting to come out anyway. So they brought the guy in there and spent an hour getting to see him kind of interact with real life problems. So he said it went great. They ended up hiring him. So
that's really clever.
I guess it went well.
Yeah. So how do you promote it beyond TripAdvisor? Don't you have to? We kind of thought it was cliche to say it was a word of mouth business,
right? But it really is proven to be that. I mean, me and my partners go out to lunch wearing this shirt, we haven't been out to lunch in the last 2 weeks without someone stopping us and saying they've had a friend tell them about the business.
With that logo?
With this, if they see this logo or see the back of it, I probably haven't been out in the last 2 or 3 weeks without someone stopping me, dinner, lunch, wherever I go. So it's really getting a buzz around town.
So how many games do you have right now in Nashville? Because you have multiple games in the space you're in.
So right now in our building we have 3 games open. A 4th one opens tomorrow. And then we're opening a 5th game by end of month, hopefully.
And is that about it for the space? Or are you gonna keep opening?
We decided to go ahead and we initially planned to do 6 in that space. We decided to cap it at 5 because we're going to be opening a Broadway location.
Oh, wow.
So we've got a Broadway building lined up and we'll be launching a spot on Broadway.
Can you say where on Broadway is yet or not yet?
Can't say just yet.
But it's on Lower Broadway, I assume.
It is, yeah. So.
Wow.
Well, I don't. What's Lower Broadway?
From down towards the river, like the first 5 or 6 blocks.
It's on block 7.
Block 7.
So it's close.
Okay. All right. So now you're gonna have 2 locations in Nashville, and is that pretty much it? For
Nashville, that'll be it. That'll let us have a lot of content because we've had a lot of local customers already play all 3 of our games, and they email me and say, "When's the next one coming out?" So we'll have up to 8 games in Nashville, so locals will get to play our experience 8 different times, and hopefully that'll.
And you change the game so they can keep coming back? Or?
Once we've had a lot of people play all 8, then we'll swing back around and start changing them again. But for right now, the plan is to keep them the same as long as we can.
And do you have plans beyond Nashville? Or?
Yeah, right now we're actively pursuing quite a few cities. We've got cities planned between now and December to launch in Orlando, New Orleans, and Austin.
3 cities?
3 cities plus Broadway. So
by New Year's?
By New Year's.
Whoa. All right, so what's it going to take to manage that kind of growth?
It's going to take a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
So we've, that's been sort of the biggest question we've had. So we've been in the process. We've actually just hired a general manager who's going to handle Nashville and Broadway.
Right.
So that was a huge load off our plate to be able to kind of hand some of the management over. And we have general managers lined up for Orlando, Austin, and New Orleans already.
And how do you recruit these people?
We're recruiting.
You lock them in a room and see if they can get
lock
out?
them in the room.
Yeah.
Do a test. These people are all handpicked by us from our existing networks. We get multiple 3 to 5 a day requests for franchises from people who've played, want a franchise, and we've kind of said no to everyone, and we've handpicked these partners from personal connections, people that we want to work with in these cities.
Wow. So people calling to want a franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're on a rocket ship right now, it sounds like.
It's been a little bit crazy.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, I know you got to get back and get that next game ready for tomorrow, so I'll let you go, but appreciate you stopping by.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks.